Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Joining BJ Rains today is KTVB Sports Director Jay Tust. Check him out on Twitter at KTVB Sports Guy and make sure to check out KTVB.com. Now here's Jay Tust and BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, what's going on? Happy Tuesday, everybody. BJ Rains and Jay Tust with you for a live edition of Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com, the social media channels, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff of Bronco Nation News. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are catching KTVB at a record pace here, I think. We're up to like 1,600, so we've got about 50,000 to go, but we are going for it. So make sure, I'm sure you already do subscribe to the KTVB YouTube page, but do that as well. But if you don't, make sure you do both of those. And, if you wherever you're watching this, just click that subscribe button, and we'll keep this thing going. How's it going, Jay?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Doing good, man. It's a fun Tuesday. Got a lot going on. I was talking to my wife on the phone earlier this morning, and I said, yeah, it's the first day where it kind of hits you that both sports have arrived at the same time. And our lives for the next couple of months are still fun, but chaotic and even busier than usual. With we got the show, and then we got football interviews today, and got to write a football story, and then we got the first exhibition basketball game tonight, 7:00, Extra Mile Arena, Boise State and Carroll College. So both sports now overlapping, but excited for the basketball game tonight. That'll be fun.
Yeah, November is just I don't know why we sign up for it, but it at the same time, it is a very enjoyable month because we do have basketball starting, and it's kind of the month where you start to figure out who's who in that world. And in football, everybody's kind of already defined themselves, and they're chasing conference championships now. And then you get a sprinkle in the holidays and Christmas shopping and all that fun stuff. So it's an awesome, energetic, fun month, and kind of love it. And this year, too, we're also bringing back the Mayor's Cup between NNU and the College of Idaho. So
there you go.
I know it's Bronco Nation News Live, but that's like one of like the coolest little community events between those two basketball teams. They're always very good. I think College of Idaho's picked to win their league, and NNU has picked to finish either second or third. So it should be a good matchup this year.
Nice. Hey, I mentioned the YouTube channel, by the way, and on Saturday we're going to be giving away this nice Bud Light Seltzer Cruiser bike. That's a picture of the bike because it's still in the box, and I haven't put it together yet. Haven't decided if I will, Jay, or if I'm going to give the winner the box. They can put it together themselves, but we have a very nice Bud Light Seltzer Cruiser bike, which we are giving away on Saturday. All you have to do is come by the James pregame, postgame, literally walk in, say hello to us, show us that you are a subscriber on YouTube, and then you get to put your name into a bucket. And if you are a paid subscriber of Bronco Nation News, you get 2 entries, an extra entry in the bucket to try to win the bike. So I met up yesterday with Dan Preston, our winner of the cornhole set, gave that to him. So we appreciate Stein Distributing. We may actually do the pregame show down from like the front patio so we can get more people that are kind of walking by on Broadway there into the stadium. We haven't decided yet, but either way, all you got to do is stop by the James on Saturday, pregame from like 3 to 4, and then after the game, you enter your name into a bucket, show us you're a YouTube subscriber, and you're all set to go, and that is the bike that you could win on Saturday, so looking forward to that. And also one more quick announcement, Jay. George Iloka will be our guest tomorrow night on BNN After Dark. Excited to announce this. Really excited. 5th-round pick, I believe, and did some things in the NFL, and He's actually dabbing into the podcast sports media world himself. So Winston Venable got us another good one. George Iloka tomorrow on BNN After Dark. Another NFL player I'm already told on tap for next week. So we're going 3 weeks in a row with pretty prominent NFL players from Boise State. So as you know, the drill by now, it's exclusively for paid subscribers of BNN. Just go on there and subscribe for as little as $6.99 a month and watch our show tomorrow night, 8 p.m. with George Iloka on BNN After Dark. We've had some requests for a Jay Tust appearance on BNN After Dark. Wednesdays are usually probably a tough night for you, but I'm sure you got plenty of stories and things for an After Dark show that you could share with the listeners.
Who's making that request?
We had some in the chat a week or two ago.
I would have a funny one about George Iloka, but we'll see.
Oh, okay. Someone's asking if we can get Titus Young on BNN After Dark. That may have to work a little on that one, but we'll see. Is he out of prison?
I think he is.
Okay. Well, we'll I'm sure Winston knows him. Maybe we can try to. That's probably a little tougher. We do have another NFL player next week, though. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully you guys will join us tomorrow night, BNN After Dark, and then Saturday at the James. I assume you guys are 4 to 5 again, Jay, so we can warm folks up for you at 3:30 to 4, and then you guys can take over at 4 o'clock.
I'm not gonna lie, we were rooting hard for that 5 o'clock kickoff because our only window to do a pregame show tomorrow on Saturday due to Notre Dame football and everything else was 4 to 5 o'clock. So we kind of lucked out with that one. I love the 5 o'clock kickoffs. I'm becoming a major fan of this thing. It was a few weeks ago. We brought up in the press conference with Andy about asking him what he thinks about these 5 o'clock kickoffs, and he didn't give us too much, but he did say the fact they're not getting home from the road games at 3 or 4 in the morning and then having to be back in the offices at noon the next day or maybe even earlier to prep for the next week is a big difference. But I feel it too, man. 5 o'clock is perfect for me because I still have time on game day to kind of wrap up my pregame show in terms of the editing and the producing and all that stuff. But then we can also hit the news at 10. And we're done at 10:45. It's 11 o'clock. I'm a big fan of the 5 o'clock kickoffs. They're perfect for my world.
By the way, I see the hat you're sporting there. I did order you a Bronco Nation News hat. It's actually a little nicer than this one. I got you I got a special flat bill one just for Jay.
Oh,
everyone else is getting the regular build hats, but you will be getting a Bronco Nation News hat here in the near future. Drew says, Jay has some lit stories for BNN After Dark. Ryan Ben's asking if there's a student discount. There is. It's called free. Any student at Boise State, if you email me, rains@bronconationnews.com, as well as active duty military members. That's one thing we're proud to do. Thanks to our sponsors, is offer free subscriptions to BSU students and active duty military members. So email me, rains@bronconationnews.com, and we will take care of you, Ryan. Thanks for watching the show. Kay Foster want to know if your pregame is on YouTube as well, Jay.
It is. Yeah, we air it on YouTube, KTVB, KTVB.com, KTVB Plus. There should be a few different ways that you can check that thing out.
Unfortunate news yesterday as we kind of get rolling here, Jay. Well, it depends on who you ask, I guess, but unfortunate for some that Bryan Harsin relieved of his duties. And then we find out a little bit later that, and this was the odd part to me, I don't know if I've ever seen this in my entire life, where the strength coach, the recruiting director, and some of the coaches halfway through the season also get canned. I mean, usually it's the head coach, maybe one guy or something, but everybody else usually, you need a strength coach for the rest of the season. You need a recruiting director for the rest of the season. Very odd that other than Jeff Schmedding, they basically cleaned house with most of the Boise State, connections. There's a couple GAs and some other people that are still there, but for the most part, the full-time guys, they all got relieved of their duties yesterday, and tough for guys like Brad Larondo as well, and guys that we really like. But Bryan Harsin's getting $15 million, 7.75 in the next month. Not nearly the payday for some of those other guys coming to them, but Auburn really getting rid of almost all the Boise State connections yesterday. Big news.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, I think it's stuff with Harsin. This seemed inevitable ever since even earlier in the year. We got really lucky with a win over Missouri, the luckiest win maybe in the history of college football.
Fumbling the ball at the 1 yard line or whatever. Yeah.
And an unforced fumble. The guy just accidentally dropped the freaking ball and it bounces out of bounds. They should be 2-6 in all reality probably, but they're 3-5, and either way, just kind of all signs are pointing to this. It's been weird to witness that thing from afar because I don't know why we wouldn't want him and all those guys to do well. I've paid more attention to Auburn football, over the last year and a half than I ever have before. And it just, what a weird energy around that place. Like their Twitter profile for their football account says the loveliest village on the plains. Man, it did not seem like the loveliest village on the plains for most of the last 2 years. And we'll see if they can find happiness with somebody else. But if you want to go back to the beginning of this thing, the fact that they fired Gus Malzahn in the first place, that just seemed weird. So
yeah, that's what, $37 million they're paying out in buyouts for coaches, and then you throw in what Harsin made, and they basically paid almost $50 million in 2 years to now have to find a third head coach. There
was something else too. They had to pay out. They had to pay out someone else. I can't remember who. But then you also have these smaller individuals that they probably owe some type of money to. The coordinators or the assistants. Like nothing near Harsin. They probably owe them something. And wow, for some perspective, BJ, I mean, Boise State's entire athletic department budget is usually
Kevin Steele. Dayton says they had to pay out Kevin Steele.
Okay, so I don't want to get his name wrong. I couldn't remember exactly. Steele was sticking out in my head. But Boise State's entire athletic department budget, usually is right around $42 million. I think that's going to get bumped to closer to 48 this year. But $42 million to run all of Boise State athletics, and sometime in the last 650 days or so for Auburn, they're just paying out $41.5 million in payouts, just to make people go away. It's just.
You ever seen the middle of the season though? The strength coach and the recruiting director and all those coaches get canned like that. It's usually just the head coach, or am I wrong on that?
There's obviously some bitterness with this whole thing, BJ, and even going back to the fact that I don't know if we got the chance to see the full release, but from what all the Auburn media, from what they posted.
Oh, this was very interesting that you pointed out on Twitter. Yeah,
it was a 1-paragraph note, and it did not even mention Bryan Harsin's name anywhere. Not in the title. Not in the body, and by body I mean 1 paragraph. It just said we're going to have a change in leadership. No, thank you, nothing. Nothing. It was like the man didn't even exist.
That was very odd. I didn't see anybody else notice that. You're the only one I saw point that out. That the whole release just says we're changing the leadership and the football coach. Never mentions Bryan Harsin. Well,
it just being there's kind of little journalist things that you're like, okay, well, what, is there somebody else I mean, obviously it's Bryan, but are they trying to insinuate something else here? And you just kind of go through it all, and you're like, no, it's.
And dude, some of the columns that came out yesterday too. I don't know if you read any of them, but there was one that I retweeted where the lead was he's gone and thank goodness or something, and then another one, and then calling him the worst coach in the history of the SEC. Which I mean, record-wise, who knows if there was much shorter tenure for some.
But I'm sure there's somebody that had a worse record than 9-12.
I mean, it was man. And so apparently still has his lovely home in Eagle, or built a new home in Eagle, I believe. So who knows? Maybe we'll. I told John Mallory last night, Jay. I texted him. Our guy Johnny with the random midnight text that we'll get. But I told him, man, if anyone's going to get the exclusive Bryan Harsin interview, it's going to be you. So we'll be watching KTVB. I'm sure you're going to. If he needs to do the image saving sit down interview here at some point, it's going to be with Jay Tust. So.
We'll see.
Be watching KTVB for that, because we know it ain't gonna be with me. So I would think you're probably about as high up there as could go for that. But tough.
We can hope. We can see. It just. I will say this about Bryan. I mean, the guy can coach football in terms of he was a great offensive coordinator. Absolutely great offensive coordinator. And I know that we talked about this for a while after the press conference yesterday in the parking lot, because that's what we do. But I know that he called plays here, and they still averaged over 30 points per game that year, which, gosh, for most of the last 15 months, Boise State would have taken that back in a heartbeat, it seemed. But we'll just see. That just was a weird fit from the get-go. In a weird way, they seemed perfect for each other, but more so than that, it just seemed like a weird fit from the get-go.
We've got BNN After Dark. I think BNN After the Presser would be fun, too. We just fire it up out there in the parking lot, because we have some interesting conversations out there for a while.
It's usually our first and shocking reactions to things. So,
yes, yeah. We did discuss this off the record, so to speak, yesterday for a while. But, feel bad for the families and everything. And you can say what you want about how Bryan Harsin treated the media or what you thought of him, but there's, his kids and wife and a lot of people involved in that. And then the families of all the other coaches. And you mentioned really good people like Brad Larondo and Jeff Pittman and some of those folks also looking for work. So we'll see. I know a lot of those guys kept houses in Boise, so maybe we see him pop up on the sidelines after a couple of weeks at a game or something. Who knows? And I don't know about speculation that, I don't think Eric Keesaw was here long enough. I mean, some of the people already want people like that to come back and be OC and all that. I don't know what reality there is to that, but we'll see. Tough deal all around, and sorry for all those guys down there, and we'll see, obviously, what Auburn does now with the new. But, yeah, you're right. I can go ahead and probably start unfollowing a lot of Auburn accounts that I don't care nearly as much anymore on social media about Auburn as I did before. But yesterday we had the press conference, Dirk Koetter and Taylen Green, and I want to discuss that in just a second. But first, I want to tell you about Cutwater Canned Cocktails, our studio sponsor. We're broadcasting, as always, from the Cutwater Canned Cocktail Studios. More than 30 flavors of pre-mixed, pre-made, premium canned cocktails that you can find at your local grocery store or gas station. Rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. They got that deal going on in Twin Falls. I know we got a lot of Twin Falls viewers, so tell your friends. And I want to see this work, so they say they get some business out of it, and it helps us be able to keep having these sponsors on board. When they run promos and things, it's so they can tell if their advertising is working. So if you're in the Twin Falls area, BNN Twin 23 is the promo code you type in for 23% off your painting job. And again, it's BNN Twin 23. You put that in the promo code when you go online to request a quote, and you get 23% off your painting order if you're in the Twin Falls area. So make sure you check that out. Lithia Ford of Boise as well. Happy customer myself. Bought a vehicle from them. Couldn't be happier with the process. It was smooth and easy. You can get more information, lithiafordboise.com, or you can go check out their showroom right there on Fairview in Boise. And, of course, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. More than 500,000 Idahoans have made the switch to Idaho Central Credit Union, and you can as well. They're the official bank of Bronco Nation News. And the best part about it, Jay, is the first time you go in there to sign up the account, I've never been back into the branch since. You don't have to. Everything can be done right from your phone or computer, check deposits, all that kind of stuff. It's so easy. Check them out at ICCU.com. Yesterday, and by the way, I don't know if it's the same for you, Jay, but I post, on YouTube the full press conferences of Andy and Dirk and Spencer Danielson, and the viewership has been like 3-1 for Dirk Koetter. Everybody wants to hear. I can't remember a time where the offensive coordinator was getting 3 times the views as the head coach on all of our views, but it's consistently like that. Like even after an hour, I look and it's already up to 130 to 60 to 44, or whatever. I mean, it is crazy. And I looked up again today. It's 2,000 for Koetter, and you're there at like 900 for Avalos or whatever. I mean, it is crazy to this point. But everybody loves hearing Dirk because he's honest and he's got his little funny jabs that he throws in there, and he's very insightful with the stuff that he says. It's just been a pleasure for me. I had never met Dirk Koetter before this year, never really talked to him much. And he's been, awesome to work with, awesome for these press conferences. And the stuff that he's talking about with Taylen Green's improvements and stuff has been great. I mean, it truly is, 12, 13 minutes of can't miss television every week.
I agree. He's succinct. He's transparent. He's honest. He's candid. Like he also always now and then like ropes in like one of his NFL stories that is always fun. I mean, it's not like when he tries to compare somebody to an NFL guy, like he's not just like throwing something at the wall, like you really believe it because he's coached that at that level and a lot of really quality players. So, it's been a fun, interesting last month. I don't think I could have predicted that it would have gone like the way that it has, but Boise State's 4-0 ever since he became offensive coordinator and ever since Taylen Green took over as starting quarterback. I don't know which one of them deserves more credit than the other. Dirk will probably try to throw it at Taylen, but they seem like one heck of a tandem right now, and they're getting the job done. Biggest test to date for those guys over the last month is probably coming up this weekend. But still, it's been a really cool, fun turnaround to see, without a doubt.
I'm not going to say it's for sure happening, man, but for me, it's got a lot of resemblance to Bronco Nation News last year with the basketball team. I know everyone's kind of making that connection, but when we started BNN, they were 3-4, terrible. They win 14 in a row, get it rolling and make history and win the tournament and get to the March Madness. And you get a 2-2 start and a rough thing. And, this being the maybe there's some first football season of Bronco Nation News magic here, and they're going to get it rolling because I know it's still – I would still say it's, unlikely in terms of being like less than 50%. But, I mean, the path is starting to look a little more possible, at least, for that New Year's Six Bowl. And even if they don't, if they just run the table, win the Mountain West, go to the LA Bowl and have a good showing there, that's still a heck of a season at this point. But the fact that there is still a small hope now to at least have a reason to watch Tulane play and some of these other teams, it's brought some excitement back into the season here.
DJ, I was actually talking about this with Tom Scott the other day because I see a ton of similarities. So I'm gonna go a step further because I like this for a second. You mentioned Boise State starts off at 2-2, right? Like the basketball team got off to a sub 500 start last year, but relatively the same. They dismiss a really good player on their basketball team. Hank Bachmeier wasn't dismissed, but he transfers. So like a significant change in terms of an older, more experienced talent that's now leaving the roster, right? So that team, Boise State basketball, went on to win the regular season title and the tournament title. In this case, I think like the regular season title is the Mountain Division title. The tournament title would be the Mountain West Conference Championship game for Boise State. All of those are very much so in play. On top of that, what was Boise State's basketball's winning streak, BJ? 14 games, right?
14 games in a row.
Okay, so the equivalent of that in football, since it's a smaller schedule, is 4.8 games. Right now, Boise State is on a 4-game winning streak. If they win this next game, it's a 5-game winning streak. So there's some similarities there in terms of getting hot after that significant change, right? And one last thing, we talked about this on the show last week that I think it's, I can see this is going to happen. A lot of really good Boise State football players are not going to get the postseason accolades they deserve because they're not stat sheet stuffers. I say that very carefully. A guy like Caleb Biggers, like he has 19 tackles on the season, 1 interception. There's going to be people who look at that stat line and are like, that's not very impressive. But people don't throw at him anymore. Like he's out, without a question, one of the top, 2 cornerbacks in the league in my mind. But there's going to be, we get to watch him every Saturday, right? So there's going to be guys like him that are left off that first team. What happened last year with the Boise State men's basketball team, despite winning the regular season title and the tournament title? How many first teamers did they have? I don't think I didn't have any. So so I just see so many similarities to the workman-like effort from both of these programs, and one was able to turn it into a historic season. We'll see if Boise State can somehow maybe just take that next step and somehow get to that NCAA tournament type game, which would be a New Year's Six Bowl.
I'm going to take a little bit of credit. I think it's the Bronco Nation News magic here. We'll keep.
Go for it, my man.
It'll help us. Yeah, man. Nobody likes more than a winner than somebody that has a business where you'll take subscriptions than folks that are happy the team won. So, and you know how it is, man. More people watch your newscast and read your tweets and everything else when the team's winning. Everybody likes a winner, and it's a fun time right now. And there is rain expected on Saturday, though. I do want to talk basketball, but as we quickly mention the game specifically against BYU on Saturday, there is rain in the forecast. The last matchup, I guess we can get more into all that on Friday, but it's always a big game, probably going to be a huge crowd, and this on paper appears to be the toughest game left on the schedule here. What do you make of the matchup?
This is a game that's like always played in the upper 20s for the most part. Like there's been some anomalies where one team's down and the other team ends up crushing them. I mean, I know Boise State scored 55 on one of these wins. Wasn't that long ago that BYU put up 51 on the scoreboard in that COVID year that it's really even hard to put too much investment into the outcome of that game. But it's going to, without a doubt, it'll be an awesome game. I mean, it's going to be an electric atmosphere. Sure, it might be raining, but it's still going to be like this awesome early fall Saturday. I'm stoked for this one. There's no way that you, me, or any other media members don't look at the schedule and figure out where BYU is placed almost immediately, just because it's usually one of the most hyped games of the year, if not the most hyped game of the year. And, BYU is coming in trying to salvage their season. They've had a lot go wrong for them over the last month. It's insane to me how much can change in a month, BJ. I mean, we're sitting here just over a month ago. Boise State is 2-2 coming off a loss to UTEP. They fired their offensive coordinator. Their starting quarterback transferred. They haven't lost since then. Meanwhile, BYU 1 month ago was 4-1, ranked 19th in the country. Their only loss was at a really good Oregon squad. they haven't won since then. So the perception in all this has greatly changed, vastly changed in the last 30 some odd days. But all for the betterment of Boise State, I would say.
No doubt about it. As I said, if you joined us late, speaking of Saturday, join us over at the James. You can win a Bud Light Seltzer Cruiser bike. Even if it's raining, just stop by, enter your name in. All you got to do is show us that you are a subscriber on YouTube, and we'll put you in. So you just stop by the James Kitchen and Bar right across the street from Albertson Stadium. Awesome spot. If you've never been there, you need to check it out. Have some drinks, hang out. They'll have all the games on. But you just show us that you're a YouTube subscriber, and then you get to enter your name, and you have a chance to win this great cruiser bike. I don't know what that came up for. From Bud Light Seltzer. I do want to switch to basketball, but quickly, Jay, got to thank a couple more of our sponsors. Ridley's Family Market, shopridleys.com, 13 Idaho locations. Make sure you check them out. The at-home shopping, the Skip app, the home delivery, all that great stuff. Make sure you check out Ridley's Family Markets at shopridleys.com. The blueandorangestore.com is offering free shipping. Any order over $40, that's right, any order over $40 online gets you free shipping at the blueandorangestore.com. Matt Bauscher Real Estate, tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first edition of the Matt Bauscher Show. We'll have the Winston Venable Show at 9, the Matt Bauscher Show at 10. So 2 shows tomorrow, 10 a.m. for the Matt Bauscher Show, the #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Check them out at BauscherRealEstate.com. United Commercial Insurance, they can write business policy insurance 44 states around the country. Make sure you check them out. They make business insurance easy. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. My dentist, Dr. Chris Miner, we appreciate him. Locations across the Treasure Valley, full family dentistry. Find a location near you at BoiseDentistryCo.com. And if you're looking for a new job, how about becoming a truck driver? And this could be everything from the big rig you see on the screen to the Amazon truck in your neighborhood. If you want to get out there towing that first load in no time, you need to have the folks at Transportation Compliance Service help you out. They can do it every step of the way. Just check out their website, transcompservice.com. It's all you need to do, and they'll help you with all the permits and things you need to get out on the road here very shortly. As we wrap this up for the final couple of minutes here, there is a game tonight, exhibition basketball, Boise State and Carroll College. The mighty Carroll College squad comes in 2-0 on the season already. They've already played 2 games, and they're coming off a season where they went 29-5 last year, advanced to the second round of the NAIA National Tournament. A formidable, NAIA, upper-level NAIA squad coming in here tonight to Extra Mile Arena. Don't forget the game is free. There's no ticket required. You just show up tonight and walk in to watch the game. We'll see what kind of crowd they get. If you've ever thought of coming to a game, at least come to the first half. Bring your kids. Why not? I mean, it's literally free, and you can probably sit closer to the court than you've ever sat before for a game because you can just come in and walk right down by the court and sit down. So tonight, 7 o'clock, Carroll College, Boise State. Jay, what are you going to be looking for? What are kind of the storylines for an exhibition game, whether it's players or whatever? What do you think are kind of the things we should be looking for tonight, or at least you're going to be paying attention to?
This is a matter of just getting the chance to see some of these new guys. And, honestly, some of these guys, we don't know how much they're actually going to play this evening. We assume most of them will at least make the new guys will at least make their Boise State debuts. But, just a chance to see guys like Sada and Buzo for the first time I don't know how that can't excite people. And I think Chibuzo Agbo is going to be a fan favorite in a hurry, not only for his production, but for his personality. And you are going to see, I think you're going to see how physically gifted this Boise State men's basketball team looks tonight, and how this is a very long and tall squad. Chibuzo is also just put together in terms of he's a muscular dude. So getting on the court with an NAI team, I think you're going to see all that tonight really stand out to the fans.
Rudy's calling it right now. Sam Winter gets into double-digit scoring.
Let's go, Sam. I'll back that. Sam's a Mariners fan, not like that RJ Keene Astros fan guy. I'll get on the Sam Winters train.
Unfortunately, won't be seeing RJ Keene this year after the season with a shoulder injury and feeling for him. But I hope we get the Max Rice, Cade Rice. We're not going to get it all year. Tonight's the only night you can get it. Cade Rice is going to redshirt. This is the one game he's allowed to play. So for at least for Mrs. Rice and let her get her, let's get the picture at least of one pass from Cade to Max for a shot, or Max setting up Cade for a corner three, in the final minutes. They got to make that happen at least once, because you never know what can happen down the line. He's not going to play the rest of this year, but you never know with injuries and whatever else, nothing's ever for sure. You got a chance tonight to make sure you get both those kids on the floor at the same time. It'd be a memorable moment for the Rice family. I hope that happens.
Yeah, and here's the deal. Even if they were members of the Rice family, I think you're going to see it happen because it's an exhibition game. And as you said, like, this is the one game where you can play a guy that won't play the rest of the year. It's still dumb to me that college basketball doesn't have a rule like football does where you can play a guy that's redshirting 4 or more games and still preserve his red shirt. It seems like there should be a rule like, and if you want to go off like percentages, that'd be like
games.
6 to 8. That'd be like 6 to 8. So 10 games.
Like 33% of your season would be about 10 or 11 games. Yeah.
So
non-conference play for the most part. Let them play in non-conference, then decide if they should play or not for conference.
10 seems like a lot. I don't know why, but there should be some type of 6 to 8 in my opinion, or even 10. I don't know, but like there should be some type of rule like basketball or like football where basketball guys can play a modest amount and still preserve their red shirt. I think that should be a thing. It's unfortunate that it's not, at least yet. But with that being said, that's why tonight's game is really important for even guys like Sam Winters. Like, I mean, like those guys will get on the court a little bit tonight, and because it's, you know, might be the only time they get some significant minutes all season.
I want to see the development of guys like Najee Smith and guys like Lucas Milner at center. And we haven't mentioned Mo Silla, the big guy coming in from Detroit Mercy. I mean, there are literally 7 or 8 guys. I mean, everybody on the team really, but there's so many storylines. Even we've heard about Tyson Degenhart's improved 3-point shooting. We've heard about Marcus Shaver and what it's like now running the point. I mean, you could go down the line. There's intriguing reasons to want to watch and see where this team is at from a lot of different guys.
Right. Like, you brought up Lucas Milner there, BJ. Like, there's a lot of like the obvious storylines you listed there. Lucas Milner, like, is probably somewhere a little bit lower on that list, but I'm excited to see what Lucas can do this year because just watching a couple of practices, he's a guy that kind of stood out a little bit. And I'm not predicting like he's going to be an all-conference player or anything like that, but just from a sheer, contributing to this basketball team and helping them win games, I think Lucas Milner makes a big jump this year.
Yeah, and Kobe Young, somebody says, I forgot to mention him. Is he a guy that can get out there and play?
We already see Kobe tonight, right?
Yeah, Derek's most excited for Kobe, Sada, Mo Silla, Lucas Chibuzo, a lot of key players to watch.
You're naming the whole roster, brother.
I am. Sada, if I had to pick one player, though, I might go Sada. I might say Sada is my one guy. Like, where is he ready to contribute? How far away is he? How many minutes does he get tonight? Yeah. I think what Sada can do has a large thing, of what this team can do moving forward. Yeah. I am pretty intrigued to see the highest-ranked high school recruit in school history.
I agree because, like, the ceiling is so high on him and the expectations are so great. But I will offer this, though, too, and hopefully I don't think I'll get in trouble for this or whatever. But, we're talking to everybody and they're, how great he is, and he's going to have a learning curve and all that stuff. And one of the practices we show up to and they start to go live, and like he immediately catches the ball and travels. So, and I think one of the assistant coaches yelled at him, "You have to dribble when you catch the ball," or something like that. Or I can't remember exactly, but it was just kind of like an innocent moment. Like, this kid's going to be amazing. Oh yeah, but he is still kind of. There are things that he's going to learn, the pace of the game, all that stuff at this level.
Well, that game is free tonight, 7 o'clock. Again, take your family if you've never been to a game, if you've never been able to sit, 10 rows behind the bench. I'm not expecting it to be a huge crowd, so this would be your chance. 7 o'clock tonight, Carroll College. Check out, and we will have a pregame show about 6:30 tonight. It'll be an abbreviated short one, but we will have a pregame show and a post-game show for you from the exhibition game tonight for Bronco Nation News. So make sure you come back, check wherever you're watching this right now, about 6:30 tonight for the pregame show. I think Johnny Ballgame might come on for a few minutes from press row. We'll show you the warm-ups and things, and then we'll be back after the game with a little bit of post-game reaction from Coach Rice, some players, and that'll be tonight on the Bronco Nation News social media channels. By the way, I did pay my bet, Jay. Okay, Bro Chill says you predicted 2.5. I said I went under. You went over. They were, 1 for 12? And I had a nice cold rain cherry limeade waiting for you at the press conference yesterday.
I will say I thought that maybe you'd be a little bit bitter and give me a warm one. Nope, that thing was chilly. I could drink it.
Dude, I even put it in the freezer and knowing it was going to sit out for an hour so that it was nice and cold. Yep. But we'll have to find some way to get that back. Maybe we'll find something on Saturday's BYU game for Friday's show that we can come up with. Find us another stat that we can do that. But Jay, appreciate your time, man, and we will be talking to you obviously at the game tonight and all week, and then we'll do our show again on Friday.
Sounds good, bud.
Jay Tust, appreciate him. Hey, don't forget George Iloka coming up on BNN After Dark on Wednesday, tomorrow night. Check it out. George Iloka, former Boise State star, 5th-round NFL draft pick, played for numerous teams, had a long NFL career. He'll be exclusively on BNN After Dark tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Winston Venable, John Mallory, and myself. It's exclusively for subscribers of Bronco Nation News, so you got to subscribe. Again, it's only $6.99 a month. Do it for a month. Try it. See if you like it. Or if you want to take the plunge and do the whole year, it's $70 for the whole year, which means you get 2 months free. You also get a $25 gift card to the Blue and Orange store with that, which basically brings your total down to $45 for the entire year, and you get some cool stuff at the Blue and Orange store. So hopefully you will subscribe and watch the show tomorrow night. It is live at 8 p.m. If you can't watch it live, it is available later on archive. And if you do subscribe now and you're a new subscriber, you can go back and watch all the old shows too, with Doug Martin last week or Jerron Johnson, some of the guests we've had. And when you get Winston going with some of his old buddies and some of the stories they tell and things, and you get the folks having a few drinks and loosening up a little bit, it is a lot of fun. You hear some great stories. That story about last week with Doug Martin and the Idaho Vandals helmet being lit on fire in the locker room. It's one of the best stories I think I've heard in a long time. So George Iloka is a good guy. He's going to bring it tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Again, you can watch it on the BNN After Dark tab on Bronco Nation News if you are a subscriber. You also get a link sent to your email if you're a subscriber. And again, there's no better time to subscribe than right now. $6.99 a month is all you need to try it out. Or you can do the year subscription, $70. You get 2 months free, and you also get a $25 gift card to the Blue and Orange store. George Iloka tomorrow night on BNN After Dark. And again, make sure you come by the James on Saturday. We would love for you to come have a drink, hang out. But if you don't have time and you want to just stop by, that's fine too, and enter the contest. You just show us that you're a YouTube subscriber, and then you can win this Bud Light Seltzer Cruiser bike. We'll put your name in the raffle. And if you are a paying subscriber of BNN, you get 2 entries in the raffle. So looking forward to giving away this bike. Thank you to Stein Distributing and our sponsors, Cutwater Canned Cocktails, so for providing the bike. So make sure you stop by the James on Saturday. Tomorrow's BNN After Dark on Wednesday. You got the James on Saturday. So a lot going on. And again, we would love to have you stop by and hang out and get registered to win that bike. We got a couple comments coming in here. Is the game being live streamed? I do not believe the basketball game is being live streamed tonight. There'll be no way to watch. If we subscribe, do we get merchandise with it? I'll throw in a Bronco Nation News t-shirt. How about that? You get a Bronco Nation News t-shirt. You also get a $25 gift card to the Blue and Orange store to go buy yourself a Boise State shirt or hat or something. So yes, you do. And that's if you do the $70 year one. So I've only got like 4 or 5 of those left, actually. So today would probably be the day to jump in on that. $70 for a year subscription gets you that access to the BNN After Dark shows and some of the other things we got going on. And then also you can get a $25 gift card to go get some Boise State gear. And I'll throw in a Bronco Nation News shirt. How about that? That's a pretty good deal. So just go to bronconationnews.com, click subscribe up in the corner, and we would love to have you. So Boise State basketball tonight at 7, and then we've got football on Saturday. A lot going on. Big Wade says, "Thanks, BNN. My favorite weekly episodes. Appreciate you, Big Wade. Nice of you to say. So appreciate everybody for checking us out. Hope you're on a YouTube subscriber. Hopefully you're thinking about that subscription to the site as well. And again, we'll have a pregame show tonight. Come on back. We're going to try it out. Don't know how much interest we'll have for an exhibition game, pregame, and postgame show. But if there's a game, we're doing it. So we'll have a pregame show live, courtside Extra Mile Arena with pregame warm-ups and all that good stuff. About 6:30 or so tonight before the game. And then we'll have a postgame show after the game, about 9:15. Come join us at 9:15. We'll have Leon Rice, some players, some analysis. Maybe we'll try to show you some highlights as well for those of you that aren't able to watch the game. And it should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that tonight. So appreciate all of you. Appreciate all of our subscribers. Again, rowpaint.com. If you're in the Twin Falls area, BNN Twin 23. BNN Twin 23 gets you that 23% off. What a deal from rowpaint.com. So make sure you go check them out if you're in the Twin Falls area, if you're looking for some work done on your house. So appreciate everybody for checking us out. Hopefully you'll have a great day. And again, we got football interviews today. Who are we talking to today? Kane Ione, JL Skinner, I believe, today, Steph Cobbs. We got some heavy hitters today. We'll get those full interviews up on the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. Another reason to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll get those interviews up this afternoon, and then we'll see you tonight, 6:30, Extra Mile Arena, the exhibition game for Boise State and Carroll College. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you then.
Ooh, the gym. Old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, Fly Fishing Guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah. Nah, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end.
Squats. Yeah. Try it sometime.